the only other question I want to ask as part of this recording is the future of dentistry, or future of implant dentistry, to be more specific. I think pretty much in the Western world now, the thought of wearing dentures, the thought of having healthy teeth ground down to make bridge work, is luckily, unfortunately, becoming more of a thing of the past. So implant dentistry is definitely here to stay. All the innovations have been with regards to making the surface better, making the prosthetics more convenient, making the bringing the cost down. Hence the word value added to it, and so on so forth. But you're an insider. You're there in the industry, sitting and talking to the innovators who are passing ideas on to you, saying this is what we think is the next big thing. Any ideas on maybe it's the digital workflow that's getting better and better, or we were talking earlier about the need for patients to have immediate loads. People want to walk out with teeth. Anything that you want to share?
Obviously, the dental implant industry right now is going through quite a bit of change. And if you look about 10 years ago, patents started expiring. All of a flood of manufacturers started coming into the industry. Currently in Italy, for example, there's more than 200 local suppliers. So we're seeing a massive change over the last 10 years with all of these companies coming in. Some coming in, some coming out, some disappearing, some growing. It's been a very interesting time for people with the choices that they have. I think we're going to see the pendulum swing on that, in that you're going to see fewer and fewer implant companies compared to where we're at today. So, again, the importance of, or why we think it's important being a part of the Straumann Group. Clearly, digital dentistry, I mean, I wish I had a crystal ball. Things are changing there so rapidly, and although it isn't new, it keeps getting better and better and better, and driving down the cost. Whereas in the beginning, of course, it was much more expensive to try to implement a digital workflow. Now we're seeing it get better and better and drive down the cost. I think the next biggest change that we're seeing in implant dentistry right now is the move to dental service organizations, the large chains, buying up practices, and other markets in Europe. Most of the sales that we have are going through the dental chains. I don't think that's a trend that's going away. We're going to see more big business dental chains, which is going to cause quite a bit of different thinking between the people that are independent, because the dental chain organizations are more likely to track to a company that is not selling as pricey componentry. So it's going to be interesting to see how those two worlds exist.
This buying or buying out happening massively in the implant industry too. I mean, Neodent got bought out by Straumann, and then Straumann bought so many other companies. There are smaller implant companies that Nobel have bought, and that is constantly happening.
Yes, there's not much consolidation of the big players.
I presume. I mean, what would have been the rationale for Straumann to buy Neodent?
Well, that's a good question. One I obviously asked of Marco Gadola. At the time they acquired Neodent, it was primarily for the market share that they had in Brazil, and it was a good time to buy them, and where their development was and where their future was. They made the decision afterwards to service the quote value segment and to use Neodent's system as that vehicle. Straumann's the only independent player left that hasn't been acquired as far as the big companies go. So that's quite interesting as well too, to see how long we can maintain such a high value that we're not a target for a takeover from someone. But yeah, consolidation's made it quite interesting. To me, coming from the sales world, the most interesting part of that is to see how those companies have tried to blend those organizations together, because no one's been able to do it. No one has been able to combine the sales forces selling the same products and be successful, and they haven't been able to manage cannibalization of the lower cost implant from the other. And I think this was some of the genius of Marco Gadola. The Neodent implant system is very, very different than the Straumann system in terms of thread design,
everything,
completely different.
Yeah.
So we're not really attracting someone that uses that system. And secondly, when you look at the organizations and how we work together, the sales forces are completely separate. There's a lot of company integration, but the sales forces we keep completely separate. And thus far, we haven't had much channel conflict in any market. There hasn't been cannibalization of the Straumann sales. So that's a very exciting thing for us. That it's a tricky thing to do, to blend in another system, and Straumann, in their wisdom, has managed to pull it off.
I can see that. And the synergistic effect that you have of Straumann as a reputable company with the research behind it and the ITI followings and the teachings there, and Neodent coming with the numbers that you have created in Brazil. And how many implants are manufactured or sold per year? Neodent?
We're currently over about 1.3 million implants.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. And literally, looking at the two implant systems, you're comparing apples and oranges.
Yes, very different.
Totally different.
We have to be careful, and that's one of the reasons behind the Straumann Group branding, is that we don't want to confuse the market and in any way suggest that this implant is manufactured by Straumann.
Sure. No, it isn't.
It doesn't mean we're not proud of our quality and the scientific backing that we have, but we need to differentiate between the brands. And this is an endorsement of the Straumann Group to the brands that they own. We're not the only one. Medentica is another excellent company that they bought in Germany on the prosthetic restorative side. That is now a Straumann Group company as well too. So it's very exciting times for us to have the endorsement from our owner, the greatest implant company in the world.
Fantastic. Last question, Neodent UK. I'm delighted to be part of it. What do you see happening here? And I'm talking about Neodent UK. So who's your target dentist? So that at least then the dentists who are listening in can kind of relate to it. So that's me. That's me. I want to be part of that because I can see what David is saying. Those rationales is what I.
Well, first of all, having lived in the UK for 4 years when I was working for another implant company, I gained a little bit more understanding about this market. It's a more conservative market.
Sure.
People don't change easily. It's more of a premium market. Not that there aren't low-cost companies here. It's just that most all the major players, not all, of course, use the top implant systems with Straumann, Nobel, Astra, 3i, etc. So we didn't want to come in and sell on price because really that's not what we're about. Our lower price is just it's just okay. That makes it easy to do business with you. We're actually selling on the quality of results that you get with our system and finding partners that share that same company purpose that we have to provide these products at a little bit lower level so you can treat patients that otherwise couldn't afford it. Of course, we can't set anyone's prices, but we're looking for people that share our values and that share our passion for the quality clinical results that we're getting. I've been extremely excited about the level of people that have joined us. Yourself, obviously, included in that list. The quality of people that are coming on. Just one. No, it's great to see the quality of people that are coming on board that are recognizing that this system is excellent, especially so that's why we're going to build this, right? Is that we're attracting the right people that are focused on quality patient care.
Sales of Neodent in UK versus rest of Europe. Last, but probably a difficult question for you to answer because none of us know. Do you think a Brexit will make a difference?
Too soon to tell.
Okay.
Will Brexit really happen?
It'll happen. But thank you so much, David.
Yes, you're very welcome. Thank you. Always a pleasure to see you.
It's a pleasure. So that was David Thoni. That is David Thoni. He's right here with me, Senior Vice President Global Sales. Hi, I'm Joe Batt and thank you for watching my channel. For more interviews with dentists, amazing implant surgeons, business leaders, entrepreneurs, people who think outside the box and create paradigm shifts in which the way we think, follow me on Joe Batt TV. I look forward to seeing you then.